Every summer, I road trip down to SoCal to see the extended family. Usually, I take Interstate 5 or the I-5 for SoCalers. It's a quick, fast straightaway, but it's hella boring with mainly third-rate amenities along the way. There are a few gems that regular travelers like me have discovered over the years. We'll hit a couple of them on our way down today. Luggage? Check. Kids? Check. Dog? Check.
Driver? Check. Okay, let's go.
South of San Jose is Gilroy, garlic capital of the world. Aside from the heavy garlic odor, there's great roadside stands with cheap produce. If you miss any of these fruit stands, you can make a quick detour at Hollister. Yes, I did say Hollister of the Abercrombie & Fitch clothing brand fame. And no, it's not swarming with surfers. Instead, it's a thriving farming community that produces fruit for most of the U.S. And off Pacheco Pass, you'll find the locally infamous Casa de Fruta. They get over 2 million visitors a year, and if you're looking to pick up some gifts or just to stretch your legs, this is a fantastic pit stop. Casa de Fruta started as an orchard farm in 1908, and they opened their first roadside cherry stand in the 1940s. And in the early 2000s, they built it out into a huge destination with an amusement park, a sweet shop, a wine shop, a hotel, and a gas station. Back on the road again. As you approach the turnoff from Route 152 to I-5, you'll see the San Luis Reservoir on your right with its stunning views. There are a couple of really great visitor centers and turnouts where you can get out and see the San Luis Reservoir up close and in person. Now we settle in for a long, flat stretch of driving. We're going to head directly to the Tule Elk Reserve, which is about a 3-hour drive, but I'll point out a couple of pit stops along the way that we're not going to stop at, but you might want to. Just off 198 on the way to Coalinga is Harris Ranch, and this is the perfect place to stop if you are a meat lover. They're best known for their freshly butchered steaks that come from the cows just down the way at the Smelly Ranch. Plan to stay a little longer here as it is a nicer sit-down restaurant, although it's a little bit old-fashioned inside. And the bonus is that they've got a couple of Tesla superchargers here so you can top off on your Tesla while you eat. Kettleman City off Highway 41 is another really great pit stop. It's got a ton of fast food, including an In-N-Out burger and Tesla charging stations. And if you have little kitties, this $30 million new Bravo Farms complex, which was built in 2014, is perfect for you. It's got a restaurant, a cheese stand and deli, wine tasting, and for after lunch, Doc Bernstein's ice cream. There's an awesome old cow town for the kids to get out a little energy before they get back into their cars. And there's a fun little park for the four-legged kids to run around in. I read about this Tule Elk Reserve, which is right at our next major pit stop in Buttonwillow. At one point, the Tule elk were almost hunted into extinction in the 1880s. A cattleman by the name of Henry Miller wanted to protect what was left of the species, and he turned his ranch into a preserve. And that ranch was later passed on to the state of California and turned into a state park. There are now about 4,000 Tule elks in different preserves around California, and at this property there are somewhere around 30 to 35 Tule elk at any time. The preserve is now about 900 acres and it's pretty spread out, so it's kind of a hit or miss to spot them when you come. What I would recommend for the best experience is to come on the 4th Saturday of the month at 11 p.m. for the auto safari. It's really a great experience. There's an interpretive guide from the state park who comes and talks with you quite a bit about the property and about the Tule elk themselves, and then you get to go for a drive into the property and see the herds up close and personal. So cool. We're driving across the reserve and you could see a huge herd of the females with the master bull up ahead. Well, you get to get out of your car and look how close we are to them. These are the smallest of the elks, and they get their name from hiding in the tule plants that grow like reeds in the slough marshes of California. So if you don't come during the auto safari, keep in mind that you will have to do a lot of the heavy lifting and research the elk ahead of time. Also bring a pair of binoculars so that you can see them from a distance. There are several shaded picnic areas, and so this might be a great place for a lunch pit stop too. And while you're hanging out here, maybe you'll see a couple elk. We're gonna backtrack a bit, go back into Buttonwillow for some lunch at TITA'S Pupuseria. TITA'S Pupuseria is a family-run restaurant that serves both El Salvadorian and Mexican cuisine. And their specialty here, of course, are Salvadorian pupusas. They make their pupusas fresh to order, so expect to wait about 15 minutes while they cook it. A couple of guava jarritos and some chips and fresh salsa to start off with. Yummy! Here are my 2 lovely pupusas. This one is calabaza con queso, which is squash and cheese, and this is loroco con queso. This is kind of unusual. It's a vine that's indigenous to Central and South America called Fernaldea pendurata. You eat the greenish blossoms just like squash blossoms, although these are smaller and more delicate. And then on top of it is cerdita, a slaw traditionally eaten on top of pupusas. I love that they just give me a big bucket so I can pile on however much I want. And a lovely, rich tomatoey red sauce to go with it. Of course, you also need to have a little hot sauce on it to spice things up a bit. I thought it was the perfect balance between the masa and the cheese. So there was enough cheese and filling that it didn't feel like the masa was overwhelming it. And I love the red sauce, which gives it this really fresh tomatoey taste to it. And you add that with a little bit of the hot sauce. Perfect. Kids, what'd you guys think of lunch?
Pretty good.
Lunch done? Time to hit the road again. If Salvadorian cuisine isn't your thing, 30 miles down there's a higher quality fast food pit stop at Tejon Ranch with chains like In-N-Out, Chipotle, and Panda Express. The freeways heading south tend to get pretty clogged during the day. Yes, even on a weekend. So it's generally a good idea to wait just north of the central metropolitan area. The ideal place to spend an hour or 3 is the Universal City Walk. It's got a ton of parking, delicious food, and great shopping. So this time we decided to slog it out down south, and we're stopping instead for a quick pit stop in Orange County. Right off I-5 on Jamboree is Class 302. It's a classic Taiwanese place that serves rice plates, snacks, boba, and other yummy desserts. They've got these really cute classroom desks and chairs for seating. And there's also a huge alfresco dining area for them all. So this is kind of cool. It's a self-serve boba concept. They've got about a dozen icy options, and you can mix and match the various teas. Help yourself to the condiments, which include a variety of jellies, balls, puddings, and of course, boba. Finally, take your cup to the register where they'll seal it for you. For snacks, we got stinky fermented tofu, a thick rice noodle soup, popcorn chicken, and some barbecue grilled corn. That was a perfect little pit stop. Okay, final push for the last leg of the trip. We've made it to San Diego. Hallelujah! Little tired, but none too worse for wear. Thanks for joining me on my epic adventure across California. And for the next couple of weeks, expect to see some great content from SoCal. Until next time, peace. I'm gonna head in, unpack, and catch some Z's.